Good afternoon, everybody. Salt.
E, man.
This E. All right. We out here for show. I want to start with this. This is an older Kevin Gates video.
My perspective, you know, police speak to me like it's police that done arrested me and all of that. They speak to me now and say they proud of me. I don't give a they hate, cause y'all ain't never committed no crimes. Y'all ain't done really did nothing. Y'all don't do nothing, but when y'all get, see, they ain't never been in programs. I've been from the juvenile detention system all the way to the adult jail. So a lot of the sheriffs and the police and deputies, they was prison guards at first. So I know them. Coming there getting a paycheck before they was rolled. I don't care what people don't like. They got mad when I said I don't support Black Lives Matter, because who they matter to? We kill each other all day. You know who talk about me the most on the internet? Niggas. Niggas. You know what's worse than a nigga? Two of them. I don't look at color and see race no more. I see real and fake. That's it. I don't know what color a real person gonna be. I don't know what color a fake person gonna be. How you know somebody real? They do real things. How you know somebody fake? They do fake shit. Hold of the streets is kill or be killed. That's not true. It's live and let live.
There's nothing in that video I can't deny. I can't say he was fabricating.
Speaking facts.
No, he's speaking facts.
Speaking facts, man, because that's what we got in our neighborhood. Us killing us. We ain't gonna never get a break.
No, and like what he said about Black Lives Matter, people just come down on me, right? Well, I remember when it first started, it's like, why you don't wear a t-shirt and this and that? I said, because I don't believe in that. Okay, because especially when I found out, like with Black Lives Matter, the majority of the money that they raised, do you know where it went to?
Where?
To the LGBTQ community.
It probably did, but
I didn't know that.
At the same
but
time,
I understand why.
I still represent my Black Lives Matter. I've been representing Black Lives Matter before it even came to George Floyd.
Right.
Going through what he going through.
Right.
I gotta represent me.
So you can represent you, but the organization Black Lives Matter. That's what I'm talking about. It's
just
to
represent me. I'm starting with me. I'm not going outside.
Ernest life matter.
Yeah, Ernest life and his family. Life matter.
That's a whole different ball game. But when you jump on, when the thing is, like we talked about before, we jump on board. Even he was just saying it. We jump on board and stuff. Like a nigga talk good as a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
All niggas got good talk.
We always talking about and this and that and black people. When the last time you went out and marched? When the last time you went and stood, and when the last time you took your ass to Tallahassee?
I ain't never gonna stand out there and march for nobody that ain't gonna march for me. Now, if it had something to do with my family in my circle, I'm going out there to march if somebody done did something to me in mine.
Right.
I'm not going out there to march for people that's not backing me all the way. People that I can't trust. I don't know you from a can of paint.
Right.
So I see what he's saying too. You cannot trust niggas at all.
Yeah.
They got intentions.
You know what's real, right? Who got us in the studio?
A nigga.
It was a white man.
A nigga got me in here.
But it was a white man.
All right.
White man say, hey man, I got a studio, man. You're welcome to come over and check it out.
With no controversy.
With no controversy. And when I hit him up, come on through. I almost didn't halfway really expect it, kind of, you know what I'm saying? But when I come through, this is a white man.
Okay, so why you ain't expect it? What?
It's not that I expected, because like we talked about before the show started, people say a lot of stuff, man. And people, and then when it's ready to happen, people flake out.
I ain't never had no problem with people, period.
Me neither. All I know is, and even like, we had a segment about the police when Kevin Gates was talking about police. I ain't got no problem with police. Police ain't the problem. How I'm going to let them determine what my destiny is? I'm the one, like he said, it took me a long time to realize I was the one that was in my way.
Putting yourself in
it wasn't Fort Lauderdale Police Department. It was me. I'm blaming them for arresting me for committing crimes that I'm committing. Come on, man. Is you serious? I'm getting mad at the court system for sentencing me on things that I did. Oh, I'm a black man.
But how about this? If you committing a crime and a black person telling on you to get you locked up, now who you mad at?
Now I'm mad at them for still telling on me on something that I did.
Like I don't supposed to be going to jail.
I love what he said, man. Like he said, he a gangster. You know, I'm a gangster to a degree. I'm gangster enough to accept, man, it's all on me. Going to prison, things like that. It took me a long time to accept. This is all on me. I can't blame nobody.
Damn, so you used to blame people for you going to jail?
No, you're not understanding. I blame my raising. I blame where I came up at. I blame this.
All that.
I didn't call it blame. I said this is just how I was. It's just where I come from, man. You know, it's just my mama. He became an addict. Left me when I was young, and then it was this, and it was the police, and then it was on and on and on. It wasn't never.
You was playing that blame game.
It wasn't never me. It was the niggas I was around. You know what I'm saying? It was the girls. You know what I'm saying? This type of girl, that type of girl.
Now you can say who it was and not expound and blame other people for what you did.
Because I gave them the power.
Yeah.
Nah, today.
Stop giving them the power.
Who I'm gonna blame for where I'm at right now?
Yourself.
Exactly. I guess you want to step in?
Okay, so me commenting on the Black Lives Matter.
First, tell us about your show.
Oh, okay. So my show, I am introducing up and coming artists, entrepreneurs, people that can teach us, teachers, even in your own right. You don't even have to be licensed to teach. If you are able to teach me something, I want you on my show, because you're not only teaching me, you're going to be teaching the masses.
Is this for the black community? Or?
It's for every community.
Okay, so you're bringing white, black guests, or?
Anybody that wants to teach, anyone. Right. Anybody that has a talent, anybody that's, just up and coming in Broward and trying to branch out and get their faces out there. Okay. I'm here to support them.
That's awesome. What's the name of the show?
The J Doll Show.
The J
Doll Show.
DOLL. J Doll Show. Okay. We got to check that out.
Hey y'all.
Okay, so what you want to say about what we're talking about?
Okay, so the reason I believe in Black Lives Matter is because I have 4 little boys, and they're all black, obviously. I was just watching a show called All American. Now, yes, it is a show, but it's based on real stuff. Right. On one of the episodes, the young man, he is in a car with his girlfriend, who is mixed. Right. So she's drunk, she runs into the back of a car, and she's scared. She asked him to get into the front seat. Do you know how bad that was? Asking a black man that just crashed a car to get into the front seat.
The driver's seat.
The driver's seat at that. Right. She could have killed him, simply because that was a serious situation. And those situations become out of hand a lot. Right. We see it on TV so much, how Becky's and Miranda's and whatever berries, they get scot-free. They be drunk as hell. They be like, can somebody just call my peoples up and come and get me? They literally go 9 times out of 10 more than us. That's why Black Lives Matter. You don't have to go and march for it. Support it somehow or another. Even if you just buying a shirt or something, you're black.
I'm Alpha. You can follow me on Instagram, Keen_Alpha. That's KEEN_Alpha, ALPHA. I'm a 3rd grade school teacher. As she was saying on the Black Lives Matter, I understand that Black lives do matter 100%. All lives matter 100%. But I also agree with him as what he's saying. The agenda for the organization of Black Lives Matter was not intended to empower black people. The intentions was to highlight the LGBT community. So it's like
what that was about?
It's like if I'm saying Janessa Lives Matter, but I know my intention is to get next to you. Hit it?
I see what you're saying.
That's why a lot of people say they don't support Black Lives Matter. We do agree that they matter, but that's not the organization intentions.
But that's why I
Black Lives Matter was even started by by lesbians, by lesbian women.
3 of them.
I don't know to look at it. See,
and if you see all the money in Black Lives Matter going to the LGBTQ community now, which I have no problem with the LGBT community.
That's real.
It's still what the agenda is.
It's a trick. We talked about this before about how us as black people, it's black, we jump on it. On black man, we jumped on it, and with our emotion, without getting to the root, like we talked about, remember Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood was started by a racist woman who wanted to eliminate black people.
But you do realize this, because it's a surmountable, it's like overwhelming. It just keeps happening.
Right.
And that's why people want to say something, because it's keep happening. It's one thing if it's not broadcast,
right,
like they do, other minorities or whatnot. It's not as broadcast, but we're broadcast like we're being lynched publicly, all over again.
I understand that. We have to watch and be very careful of who we take a stand with and how we take a stand, because 100%. we jump on these bandwagons, and then even when we find out the truth, Black Lives Matter. But the organization Black Lives Matter does not matter for black people.
All right, so how about this? What did we get in benefits of Black Lives Matter? Like,
That's a very good question.
To be honest, the
what
only
did we
thing,
get good out of it? Because to me, in my eyes, I feel like
Personally,
everything is still the same before they came in.
I'm gonna tell you personally, I don't think nobody individually got something out of it. It was just the come togetherness. For instance, I come up with something that makes us matter. It's just gonna matter to the people that just coming in and saying, okay, let's follow E. Let's follow E with this just matter.
it sounds like you saying like it was no other Martin Luther Kings after Martin Luther King.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that.
Well, you got a point that was
Exactly.
Black
Right.
Lives
So
Matter
who was
at
leading
that
us?
point. You know, it mattered to certain people that felt something at that time. Black lives been mattered to me. It ain't mean that I had to go out there and march. I ain't got to go march because it mattered to me. That's because it's mattering to y'all, because it's something that came into y'all eyesight that made y'all say, let me go out here and march because this shit wrong. It been wrong to me. It's a lot of shit been wrong to me. That don't mean I'm going out there to march for it, but say I do march. I got people that'll follow me and say, damn, that shit do matter. Let me go march now. Now it matter to me.
And
You
to-
feel what I'm saying?
To be honest, the only thing it really did was open the eyes to the
For some
world.
people.
You know,
Okay.
the world was literally blind. Like I was just watching another show on YouTube. They do these studies and it was Africans against African Americans. Africans came over here up under the assumption that we are, you know, basically living the dream, living it up. And then they come here and they see that their police is just as bad as our police, if not worse. You know, they see that we are getting a lot of injustice as well.
I do want to
And-
say this. I got to interject this. I have to interject this. We have something over here that they don't have in Africa. We got this thing called the Constitution of the United States.
I was just about
And
to say that, too.
regardless of, yes, we know that there's crookedness inside of the system. We have seen injustices and we have seen justices. But I'm gonna say this, like I always say, when it comes to the United States of America, I will take the problems of the United States of America over any problems anywhere else. I would take the judicial system of the United States of America over any judicial system in the world. Go to South Africa. They're just really getting started on liberation, if you want to call it that.
Oh, they said
Not
that.
me, not
They definitely
me.
said
I wouldn't
that.
take it. I wouldn't
Okay.
take it. Like I tell people all the time, America ain't got no structure. We ain't got no structure. Them people got structure over there. I take they systems for anything. I'm telling you, because we ain't got no structure when it comes to police.
What's the
and
girl
all
name?
that
The
shit.
basketball player. About this Russian structure. Brittany Griner.
Brittany Griner.
Yeah, they got their structure within a few months. She got 9 years.
Now let a
Man.
motherfucker come over here and get caught with some bullshit like that.
It's just like
It's just gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Honestly,
if we
depending on the
had them
person.
type of laws set for us,
We wouldn't be having this
they
podcast
don't
right
even
now.
people wouldn't even want to come here probably.
But we wouldn't be having this podcast right now. If we didn't have the law system we have right now, me and you,
We probably would.
we would not be doing this podcast right now.
Probably
I
would.
feel like we'll probably be more like Afghanistan. If anything, y'all will be able to do everything up under the sun, and women will be up under lockdown, as well as children. And I honestly think that's how it'll be, because that's how the rest of the world is.
I never see, I very rarely see an African, a black person in Africa with a briefcase or with a dress shirt,
But you
with
see
dress
that
shoes.
everywhere when you get there. You
Yeah,
see
well,
it everywhere.
that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't see that on
Based off
TV.
media, you don't see it.
No.
But when you get there, you see everything.
Right.
I ain't
You
gonna
know what
lie
I just
to you.
noticed?
You
That's
see
the common
it.
denominator that I just realized. Did you hear what I just said about the Africans saying how what they were perceived on TV about us and how we were living over here?
Yeah.
And it's the opposite to them, and how we see poverty and disgust in Africa.
And that's
it's
not
the
the case,
opposite
because it
for
look
them.
it's parts that look just like it do over here.
Yeah.
Y'all get what I'm
Probably,
saying?
Yeah.
probably even better, but
Probably
it's
better.
also parts to where it is like still village living, to where they still in like
Huts
Huts
and
and
all that
yeah.
stuff.
Right. So why is it? I gotta rabbit hole this for a second. So why is it the only visuals when it comes to Africa does the media only show, whether it be out on the range, the lions and the hunting at night, or we see the Somalians on the boats going and robbing them? Why is that the only visuals of Africa and blacks in Africa. You hear about school, I see one time, and the one vision they did show of Africans that weren't in the jungle or didn't have a bone going through their nose was they had on some old raggedy ass dress shirts and some raggedy slacks. They were students, but they looked like poor students.
Right.
Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And so I asked a lot of people this question, man. And you guys tried. Ask people if they know where Egypt at. What country Egypt's in.
What they gonna say?
Wow.
Do you know where Egypt's at?
Africa.
It's in the continent of Africa.
Right. But when they speak about Egypt, they speak about Egypt as if it's a whole nother country.
You know why, right? Because they have been so colonized and they're so bright skinned, they think they're better.
But Egypt
they can think they're better, but why is the media doing that?
But Egypt is another country.
And they have their own set of laws as
Egypt's
well.
in Africa, though.
Yeah, but they got their own set of laws as well.
That's like right now we on America, but we're in North America. We're not in South America.
Right. But what I'm saying though is this: when they say in North Africa, in Egypt, it was discovered. No, in Egypt. Here's what's going on in Egypt.
Yeah.
Not in North Africa. In South Africa or in Central Africa, in Ghana.
Yeah.
Then they specifically direct you what part of Africa. The Somalis are from what part of Africa? West Africa. We know that.
Okay.
But when you talk about Egypt, where you have the pyramids where we built, back to Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Okay, it got a lot of traction. It got a lot of attention. It got a lot of money. None of that money went to none of us or none of our causes. The T-shirts, they look good with the little fist thing, which was a reprint of what the Black Panthers had already done.
Right.
Okay, I believe that the Black Panthers did more for black people than the Black Lives Matter ever could even scratch the surface on.
Of course.
I don't know much about the Black Panthers, to my shame, but I'm not a Black Panther supporter or not a supporter. I just don't know much about them. I know that there was a time right before I was born that they took a stand for what things that were going on with black people. But so I just used an example. I know they did more than Black Lives Matter. They were trying to bring the black curriculum into schools, right? And DeSantis was like, I'm cool with that. But can you pull that up? When you hear no black curriculum, government, now we're in our emotions instead of saying, let me go make sure.
Because they just said they voted on not having a black curriculum.
But we're going to find out why they didn't pass that bill that had the black curriculum in it. So there was a key to that. And he came out and said this. People think that I'm against black curriculum. No, absolutely not. But we got to pull it up so we get some facts on this. Let's listen to this real quick.
Today, Governor DeSantis said teaching black history is required in Florida schools, but added this course amounted to indoctrination.
This course on black history, what's one of the lessons about? Queer theory. Now, who would say that an important part of black history is queer theory? That is somebody pushing an agenda.
Yeah.
Listen.
When you look to see they have stuff about intersectionality, abolishing prisons, that's a political agenda.
The move stems from the so-called Stop Woke Act DeSantis signed into law last year to clamp down on diversity and inclusion efforts by schools and businesses.
We believe in education, not indoctrination.
And it's just the latest battle in DeSantis' culture war, taking aim at the teaching of race in schools, how teachers can talk about gender identity, whether trans kids can play on sports teams, and COVID vaccine requirements.
What they wrapped up in that bill of black education, what the does queer theory have to do with black history? What does intersexuality have to do with black history?
When y'all know what? When that man said they are pushing an agenda, LGBTQ is everywhere. I'm not against the gay people, but I am against it being pushed into my face, being pushed into my children's faces. You can accept who you are without telling me and my children at the same time all the time. You are a regular human being with human feelings, and so are we. So I feel like, be who you are.
Yes, we know that black people, we make up the largest percentage of the inmate population. We understand that.
It was created for us, that's why.
Okay, but the history as far as black education, those things have nothing to do with black history or black curriculum. So that's why he says, listen, I'm shooting this down because y'all sliding something else in there that I'm not on.
I feel you, but I don't feel you on that tip because, like I said, they were created for us. They wasn't created for nobody else.
We're not just talking about the prison. We're talking about the whole package. Do you understand why he shot the package down?
Well, yeah, because as a whole, if I can't, just take out some things and leave other things.
Because he said clearly, listen, you remove all the other agendas out of there, I have no problem passing this. That's what he said. He said, take this to this out, and I'll sign it. But you're not going to trick me into signing this, and then you can get the black people all up in the raw, and you're going to tell them, oh, he denied the black curriculum from going into schools, ain't he racist, without telling the whole story.
What you trying to say, they're not telling the whole story. They doing.
Right. And so just like you say, fuck Ron DeSantis, and this is what you're saying. But you're saying it based on your emotions and not what you know.
No.
Media and propaganda.
Come on, and so it's just like
I still feel like we still should know why those prisons was created.
Okay, the prisons was created. Okay, yeah, we're going on that. That's a whole different agenda. But we're talking about our governor that we're saying screw him, screw that, this and that, based on emotion, not on what information that we know.
That's true. That's why I can't be mad at him for that one thing, because when you look at it, like you said, there is an agenda being pushed, and I wouldn't stand for it. If I don't agree with it, I wouldn't stand for it.
We for education, not indoctrination.
Right.
Okay, I don't need you telling me my child whether to be a Republican or a Democrat. I don't need you telling my child whether to be any of the LGBT, any of the alphabets. I don't need you telling my child any of those things. I need you to tell him I do math, science, English, whatever all this subject is. I need to tell him that and give him information or her information and allow them to come to their own conclusions. That's what education is. It's a suggestion. We as black people, we are the ones who jump on these trains and we just ride. And the reason I'm like this, right, is because all of my experiences growing up here in South Florida, this was a racist state. South Florida was racist, okay? And in spite of all the racism that I saw growing up, and I know that people acted certain ways towards me because of experiences they had with black people. And I didn't like the fact that somebody white was acting a certain way towards me because of what happened with you with somebody else.
Right.
And so I made a decision at some point. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to do the same thing in reverse.
Right.
Okay, and when it came to police, I'm still working on it now. But I'm like, I'm not going to say all police bad because they locked me up for shit I was doing.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, I done had some bad police officers, but I done had some good ones too. I had a police officer when he had me in the car, and it was a misdemeanor. His boys was like, hey, they call him on the phone. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's just a misdemeanor. No, I'm not doing that. It's just going to be a misdemeanor. They was trying to tell him,
you can do it.
To charge him with all this stuff, and he's like, no, I'm not doing that. The man stood up.
You ever cooperated with the police and gave them some statements?
Statements? What you mean?
Mom tells 14-year-old to kill a man.
Yeah.
That's the mama right there. That's her son right there. She done texted him and told him to come to the door.
Yep, you can see it all in the what's it's called.
He had ran out the door by that time, and G had shot him like 2 more times.
In the back.
No, but you got to see the video where the guy actually in the store hitting her and telling them.
They probably, you might have to go show another video because he gonna show the guy in there arguing with her, acting like he about to hit her.
Who? Get the cops?
I ain't never seen when he hit her.
Get your food! Get your food! If you say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out. Oh my God, I said one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out.
Come from the beginning when it happened, they didn't show that. They had that. They only showed black woman, black boy shooting in the parking lot, getting in car, going.
And this is why also Black Lives Matter, because where we go in the media, in the streets, we're portrayed as horrible.
Okay.
And that's why you have to support it how you can support it. You don't have to support the actual thing, but you got to support it how you can support it.
I'm not supporting an organization. We need to create an organization then that's actually going to do something.
That's why I got my podcast.
But
honestly.
the way they mediarized that's what got them people locked up. That's what got them locked up and got them, now that they done dropped the charges, they finna sue them.
The other video got them dropped.
But what also got them locked up is the fact that
the
they
video
left.
that we just watched with him hitting her, that's what got them to drop the charges.
Ladies, you listen to me. I want you to just vision this for a second. Your daughter is in a public restroom, and a dude walks into that public restroom, a grown man with your 10, 11, 12-year-old daughter. You want me to believe that you as a steward of your family are just going to stand there and watch that shit? You're going to watch a man walk into the bathroom? Dude, I won't. I never will. I never will. If you want to, that's totally fine for you. But dude, we're at a tipping point in this conversation, in this culture, in this society, where me saying what I'm saying, I'm demonized and villainized because I want my daughter to be safe from some pervert who can't figure out his own shit. I'm not labeling everybody that. There's probably a lot of great trans people out there that say, hey, you know what? I got a dick. I'm going to go in the men's room. Not a problem. Cool. A lot of ladies, you want to sit to pee? Great. Not a problem. But I don't know the difference, and I don't need to know the difference. I'm not here to ask you, are you a fucking sexual predator, a pedophile, before you walk into the bathroom with my daughter. The simple fact is, as a fucking man, you ain't getting in the bathroom with my daughter, period.
When he said that, all that shit he just said, I think if it's trans people out here, trans men, trans women, need to make a bathroom for them people, period. Because it's not right to let a man come in there.
They got a few of them.
It's some places they have they call not unisex, but
yeah, but still, you should have one for each one of them. You shouldn't have a trans bathroom. Should be a trans man or a trans woman. If y'all identifying as these people, okay, have a bathroom for them. Because they shouldn't be able to go in the same bathrooms as people that's not that. Because how I know who you is.
And that's honestly, even more of a specific point, because I'm like, I don't even want them playing the same sports or nothing with women.
Okay, but what about your daughters?
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about your daughter's in the bathroom, and I walk in, I'm dressed as a woman, and I pull my dick out. Are you okay with your kid, your daughter, even if I'm identifying as a woman? Okay, but that's what we're facing.
Yeah, and that's why they need their own restrooms that all of them, men or female, transgender.
So, at what point? I want to make this clear. I'm not against trans. I'm not against anything LGBTQ plus. What I am against is forcing it on me. I love my trans and my gay, lesbian, and trans, bisexual friends. I love them. But the friends that I have, they're not pushing it on me.
Exactly.
Okay, and I'm gonna be honest. Most of my friends, they say a lot of this stuff that they be talking about, I'm not on that. They tell me that straight. They're like, I'm not on that. Let me ask this question. You're sitting in the mall. You send your daughter into the bathroom. You see a man walk in the bathroom behind them. Question is, are you going in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going in there.
If it's a man just walking in there, me being this little woman that I am, I don't care. I'm only 5 feet. I'm finna climb you because what I see is a man. I don't care if you chopped off your penis.
But
you should have dressed like a. I don't care. But perception is everything.
If it happened again while you in jail because you done beat this man up, now what you gonna do?
There's a way. So how do we handle that situation?
You can't. That's why they need their own restroom, because my eyes told me one thing. I can't look between your legs. My eyes only saw this man walk in behind my door.
I prepare at home, so I'm telling my daughters if this happens.
So hold on, I'm a business owner, right? I'm a business owner. You're telling me that I have to spend more money for plumbing, take away from space in my business to add another bathroom?
Guess what? It make you more money.
How?
Because everybody is comfortable then. Everybody's accepted then.
What if they
Everybody feels accepted then?
What if they still want to go in the women's bathroom and they legally can?
And they legally can.
And they legally can. I ain't gonna lie.
That's not legally can.
I feel like legally, as a owner of whatever establishment I have, I can put a note on my door saying, please be mindful of others. I used to be bisexual. I used to be. And I attribute it to, honestly, just not caring about life anymore. And that is a lame excuse, but I used to be, and I used to be deep off in it. I had a whole full-blown relationship with a couple women. And I understand, like, you know, how they be feeling about going out in public and whatnot, because they do get judged a lot or whatever. People look at them like, oh, you ain't supposed to be doing that or whatever. I feel like I understand them. I do understand them. But before, gays used to be like, okay, I'll kiss in public. I can hold my mate in public. We're going to hold hands. And people used to judge them. So they just went all the way out. They walking down the street naked, as we just saw a bunch of elderly people do. I didn't even know they can be that gay, that old. Like, they feel like this is why the Black Lives Matter thing comes into play, because they feel like they've been oppressed. I watched Soul Train. Y'all know how many gay men was on there? All of them. Just about all of them was gay. You wouldn't have been able to tell that. But that's why they say, Exactly. Nobody knew that they were gay, and that's why a lot of gay people say that they are the pioneers of a lot of stuff. And they are tired of not being recognized for this and not being recognized for that. And it's just like, we understand you, but it's just like you trying to tell us because I'm gay, this is the only reason it happened. And that's where I disagree with gay people. And the LGBTQ, Black Power, Black Lives Matter.
We have a platform. Okay. We don't know what direction this platform is gonna go. Yeah. And we have to be mindful that this is a platform.
And people see this back in
and they go, let's go back to full show 4 years ago.
And see what he said.
Yeah.
You don't like.
Right.
He always saying
So what I'm saying is, that's why you always hear me come in behind you and say, but I still do X, Y, and Z. But because I don't want it to come across just because I do understand. Like I said, I do have friends that are friends. Not associates. I have friends who are in the LGBTQ community.
I got friends,
but I also personally, like, I guess on a person I interview them, I was like, what do you feel about X, Y, and Z? And it's like, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not agree with these things that you're seeing on TV. A majority of my friends do not stand with it. And I have a friend who's committed suicide.
Sorry to hear that.
Because she had a surgery
to become a man?
To become a woman.
Oh, a woman.
And realized that he went too far, that she went too far.
How old was he?
Yeah, basically in his 50s. We believe here that we're all entitled to our views. We're all entitled to disagree. We even disagree with each other at this table, but at the same time, we still respect each other. We agree that everybody in the LGBTQ plus community has a right to be whoever they want to be.
Yeah.
We agree that I don't have to agree, or we don't have to agree with the agendas of organizations such as Black Lives Matter.
Right.
I'm not sure about the NAACP because they still refer to us as colored people. This is the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. I'm not colored people. Okay. I'm an African. Well, I don't know. I'm black.
Well, honestly, because it's not black and white anymore. Colored is a plethora.
Jackson Memorial. We stand for everybody.
They're real.
I just happen to be black. He just happens to be black. When we talk about a lot of black issues, because that's what just happens to come up. As this show begins to grow, we'll begin with trust me. We'll be touching on all kinds of issues. But one of the things that we're here to do is make sure that people that listen to this podcast are educated on issues and can learn how to put our emotions to the side and go on the issue and the information. Thank you, everybody who's watching. Please continue to tune in. Come back, and if you have anything that you want us to talk about, let us know. And I want to thank Al for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We also want to thank Janessa for being on the show.
Thank you.
J-Dog.
Tune into the J-Dog Show.
Until then, be who you are and let everybody else be who they are. Accept where everybody stand, and you stand where you stand. As long as we do that, I think we're going to be okay.